Welcome to Lily Bayonne, Governor. I am Valeria Turan, proprietor of its many establishments.
I don't typically recommend completely tanking a city's economy, potentially ruining the lives of all of its citizens, and being heralded as a complete idiot as a way to learn a valuable lesson. But this is exactly what happened to me in Anno 117 Pax Romana, and it was worth it. The latest entry in Ubisoft's long-running city-building series has been kicked back to the golden age of the Roman Empire, but as I began my first foray into colonising antiquity, it didn't feel a million miles away from my sojourn as a governor in Anno 1800. The good news is that this sense of overfamiliarity was short-lived. Anno 117 is not a table-flipping sequel full of endless experimentation, but from the 4 hours I spent playing it, it messes around with the setting in fun ways and shakes things up just enough that the Roman Empire feels like a new frontier. It all clicked when my economy collapsed. The early campaign missions are designed to get your first colony up and running and mostly self-sufficient, and being very aware that I had limited time, I was trying to smash through it, rapidly expanding without letting my economy stabilise. That's where Anno 117's building bonuses came into play, which make city building feel even more tantalisingly puzzle-like. Simply placing a bakery within a dense residential area immediately increased the income generated by the entire area, though like a lot of buildings, it came with a trade-off. Baking all that bread also increased the likelihood of a fire breaking out. A pig farm, meanwhile, reduces the happiness of the surrounding area, because while pigs are wonderful, nobody wants to live near these grunting poop generators. Building bonuses are especially relevant to research. Some buildings generate knowledge from their sphere of influence, which can be spent in the meaty research menu, which is divided into economic, civil, and military trees. Discoveries run the gamut from bonuses to substantial upgrades to enhanced chips. Also significant is the addition of deities. With the ocean playing such a big role in Anno 117, you might want to make Neptune your patron deity, as dedicating yourself to the big lad will, over time, earn you helpful bonuses, including increasing the swiftness of your naval vessels. There's an entire religious progression system built into the game, with the belief your colonies generate fueling it. A religious building like a sanctuary, for instance, generates both happiness and belief within its area of effect, and it's through this resource that you can start accessing your chosen god's handy gifts. You can also switch deities, and not just to Roman ones. The Romans were extremely pragmatic when it came to religion, and players are encouraged to carry on this tradition, which conveniently brings us to a feature that's cropped up in a bunch of Anno games, but which has been given some ancient flavour. While your first colonies will be in Anno's facsimile of the Mediterranean, you can also hop up north, where you can start colonising Celtic lands, splitting your attention and resources between two very distinct areas. I wasn't able to mess with the Celts in my playthrough, but Ubisoft did tease what we'll be able to expect when we can eventually expand our reach to new lands. While you'll still be playing as a Roman governor, bringing with you Roman inventions, you'll also be able to let your Celtic citizens maintain their original identity rather than squashing their culture. The choices you make about what culture to promote or what god to worship don't take place in a vacuum either. Your citizens will have some thoughts about your plans, as will other characters like your rival governors or the Emperor himself. So this is going to have an effect on your domestic stability as well as diplomacy.
This is more your thing than mine.
As I approached the end of my Roman holiday, I finally got to start my first massive engineering project, the aqueduct. These bring fresh water to your colonies from the mountains and can be used to help stop your settlements from turning into a pile of singed timber, improve your agricultural industry, and will become necessary for certain public buildings. Constructing one is a pretty big undertaking that requires a vast amount of resources, and to be honest, I did find it a touch fiddly, especially when the aqueduct intersected with my roads, but it was also exciting to embark upon a meaty engineering challenge like this, like my colony was all grown up. And while I couldn't go any further, it hinted at a turning point, like the embracing of the Industrial Revolution in 1800, with a whole set of new challenges and objectives. There was one other major new feature that Ubisoft wasn't ready to show off: land battles. Wars are no longer exclusively conducted by navies, so there's this whole mini RTS layer that exists inside this city builder. I'm yet to find a convincing reason for cramming military conflicts into a city builder, and while Anno 117 might change this, it is a relief to know that this is all optional. By tweaking the settings, you can just focus on the city building, and even if you keep the default settings, your AI rivals are actually pretty friendly. Anno 117 won't be launching until the end of the year, but these first few hours have the polished gleam of a game that's already out, which is pretty reassuring. And it's already so easy to lose yourself in all these production chains, engineering projects, and trade ventures. With Anno 1800 as its foundation, alongside all these tweaks, twists, and dense Roman flavour, I've got pretty high hopes. For more on the antiquity antics of Anno 117, head over to pcgamer.com, and for more previews on the latest upcoming games, subscribe to us here on YouTube.